Alright people, it's me, Half a Jojo, again back at it with another Why Eating a Day as a Fat Person video, part 3. So, before I start off, again, don't be a dick to anyone that I make the video about, but at the same time, I'm not going to sugarcoat things if I disagree with them, or I think they can be done in another way, a much better, healthier way, and stuff like that. Before we start off, I just want to say a good 98% of you who've been watching before aren't subscribed. So if you could do me a favor by clicking that subscribe button, liking, commenting, sharing, whatever you gotta do, I'd really appreciate it. We're almost at 500 subs. Since recording this, we've already hit 500 subs, so I really appreciate it. I'm gonna have to make a video about this soon. Thank you again. Just got a little bit left and we're almost there. It's been a long time waiting, but yeah, I really appreciate it, and without any further ado, we're going to get right into a video here. Again, haven't watched it, so this is going to be your first time watching it together, and I'm going to give you my opinions on it. Okay, so we have this one here. Let's start it off.
This is what I eat in a day as a fat person who's not trying to lose weight.
So already I've got to start it off, like I've said this before in another video, a lot of people say, as a fat person who's not trying to lose weight. I think everyone should try and at least be at a reasonably healthy weight, because it's just not good being overweight. Like I said before, it can lead to a lot of health issues and stuff like that. It also not only affects yourself, it affects people around you, especially if you have like young children and stuff like that. You can't go play with them. You know, it's harder to generally do stuff. When I was big, I struggled to walk upstairs and shit like that. It wasn't good. It wasn't fun at all. You know, I used to have a lot of issues bending down to pick things up, things like that. You know, there's a lot of issues that stem from being overweight. But anyway, I could have ranted about that all day. Let's get to the actual food. So what is it? So I'm guessing jam toast with some scrambled eggs.
For breakfast, I had scrambled eggs and strawberry toast. This
Okay.
comment is totally right. There is one thing I didn't record, and that is my water consumption, because
I mean, what's it called? So the eggs is great. The eggs is fantastic, and you know, having a bit of bread with your eggs, I do that a lot as well. And it, no, sure, a little bit of strawberry jam probably isn't all that bad, really. Like, but obviously strawberry jams, again, not the greatest things to start off your day with, because there's a lot of sugar in it, and you know, like I said, sugar rush, straight thing in the morning, goes straight to your head, and you want to crave sugar all day, and then you crash because you have so much sugar. It's a bad start generally, I'd say, personally. But, you know, I'm not going to hate on it. So far, it's not egregious. And like she said, starting off water, absolutely amazing.
water is not a food.
Or
For lunch, I had a
water,
pizza roll up with some guac.
What's that? So is that just a wrap with some pizza filling inside it, and a shit ton of guacamole? Okay, yeah, that's oh, holy calories. Okay, so, you know, having a wrap with some stuff inside is fine. Having a little bit of guacamole, you know. But the thing is, that's where people go wrong, right? It's because you're having all this extra calories on top. You're having all these dips with it and things like that. You're having these big wraps, which are already like 120 plus calories or something. Plus all the things inside it. I'm guessing there's like pepperoni, cheese, etc. Stuff like that inside it. Plus the guacamole, which is going to be a lot of calories as well. You know, it just adds up really quickly. But I will say there are good, reasonably healthy ways to make wraps, right? For example, one of the best ways, I think personally, to make a wrap is to get your meat, get a little bit of your meat, a reasonable amount, especially better if it's like a lean meat, a shit ton, and I mean a shit ton of like lettuce or spinach or something, just stuff that bad boy in there, wrap that bitch up. I don't know, maybe put a little bit of sauce in there, just a tiny bit, you know, a reasonable amount. And then you got yourself a big wrap that's really filling and is relatively quite low calorie, and you're quite full. You know, that's what I would do personally. That wrap's looking a little bit sad. It's not looking all that stuffed, you know, it's not looking all that full.
Tasty. Later, I had an oatmeal raisin cookie as a snack.
Okay.
For dinner, I had an...
Again, like I said in the previous video, I would personally avoid snacking throughout the day, especially on like small sugary things like biscuits or cookies or anything like that, because it can just easily get addictive and you can easily overeat. Even if you're only having one, it's still quite a lot of calories. It's still probably like 200 calories or some shit like that for just one little kind of biscuit or cookie or something. So it's not worth it. If you are going to snack, I know it sounds boring, but you know, fruit and stuff like that is the best way to go, really. But let's get into the other meal. We didn't really get a good look at that one.
Cookie as a snack. For dinner, I had an
Italian sausage. Something tells me that's not really like an Italian sausage. That looks more like a Cumberland or a Lincolnshire or something to me personally. And then it looks like you've got just a piece of bread, some mayo. Cottage cheese is great. Cottage cheese is a good choice. But the potato chips crisp thingies on the side, that's where a lot of the calories will be. So that sausage plus the crisps on the side is adding a whole lot of calories, and obviously the bread's probably like 100 or something. Personally, I think if you are gonna have like some sort of potato thing on the side, why not have like just like potatoes itself, or like even a little bit of fries or something, or some chips or whatever. Like obviously not really greasy, but like air fried or like oven baked or something like that, something quite low. Chop up some potatoes into like fry shape and just serve that on the side. You know, that would be a whole lot less calorie and a lot more filling. You know, again, like I said, cottage cheese is a W choice. Can't go wrong with cottage cheese. I don't know what's inside it. I don't know. That's just like a bunch of herbs or some sort of seeds or something. But seeds, oh my god, seeds can be like absolutely disgusting amount of calories. Sometimes I swear they can be deceiving. Like sometimes you have a little bit of like sesame seeds or something, and it's like, boff, you already put on like 100 calories on that bitch. It's like Jesus Christ. But yeah, this isn't really I mean, oh yeah, I don't want me to come across as rude, and I'm not dissing this person, but it is a bit like a kid's meal, and I don't even think kids should be eating that shit. You know, it's a bit like I couldn't be bothered to make anything, so I'm just gonna slap something up with leftovers. But this isn't really all that filling or delicious. Again, there are a lot of substitutes I would personally make that would make this a whole lot better. You know, keep your cottage cheese. It doesn't matter if you have that sausage or and a bit, as long as you have like actual potatoes or something on the side. You could put your mustard on it. I think there's onions or something there. You know, all that's not that bad. But then you add the crisps, you add the bread, plus the sausage is already high calorie as it is, and the cottage cheese, and it looks like there's also some milk there. Yeah, that's too much.
Italian sausage with chips and cottage cheese, and then a cup of milk and honey.
Milk and honey, yeah, that's insane. Oh my god, especially if it's like full fat milk, that's already like a 300 calorie cup plus. It depends how much honey you put in. You put in like more than 15 grams of honey, that shit's easily over 100 calories worth of honey. Damn, that's mad. And then there's a
Then for
biscuit
dessert, I
cookie.
had an oatmeal raisin cookie.
The same cookie, which is again quite a lot of calories. And it's not really filling.
And that's all for the day. Love you. Bye.
Well, yeah, that wasn't great. You know, like I always say, it's best to be as full as possible and stuff like that. Even if you aren't trying to lose weight or whatever, you should definitely substitute it for more filling whole foods, because that's just gonna put you in an endless cycle of feeling hungry and hungry and hungry, because all you're doing is snacking on these small sugary things that aren't really that satiating and are full of calories and sugar and stuff like that. And your main meals are looking quite sad. They're not really that nutritious. There's no vegetables or anything like that. And it's just like essentially pure junk, really. Like, you know, with the potato chips or crisps on the side, with the big ass sausage and stuff like that, you know, that's already high calorie as it is. And a little sad piece of bread. Cottage cheese, again, that's a good choice. But the milk as well, you know, that's not really all that filling, like personally. I would eat that and be like, yeah, I need more. I need seconds. Like, this isn't enough, personally. And I feel like most people would be like that too. But yeah, that wasn't the greatest one. Hopefully the next one we're going to look at is going to be a bit better, but we'll see. We'll see. At the moment, it's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good. Right, okay. I've got another one up here. WIEIAD as a plus size person, not trying to lose weight. Again, all I seem to come across is ones like this. And personally, you know my opinion on it. I don't agree with it at all. So yeah, let's get into this one. I don't know what to expect. The first one wasn't all that great. So let's see if this one can ramp it up a little bit, or hopefully, I'm thinking hopeful here, be a bit better.
What I eat in a day as a plus-size person not trying to lose weight.
Okay.
Breakfast, hash browns.
That is a lot of fucking hash browns right there. Jesus Christ. Yeah. That's not good. So I'm gonna try and count how many there are. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's 6. There might be another one hidden under there. I don't know. 6 hash browns is insane. I'm gonna quickly look up how many calories hash browns is. I haven't had it in a while. I'm guessing between like 200 calories per hash brown. But I'm going to Google it quickly. Okay, so I've typed in hash brown calories on Google just randomly, and here it says it could be 326 per 100 grams, but this AI kind of overview is saying between 140 to 150, or between 200 to 330 per 100 grams, which is pretty consistent with this one up here. So yeah, that's like potentially, depending on how much it is per hash brown, I mean, that's like almost 1,000 calories worth of hash brown right there. That's 900 or something like that. Let's see if it gets worse or any better. You know, at least it's not sugary, so it's not going to absolutely hemorrhage your blood sugar energies and stuff like that, or whatever the fuck.
Still hungry,
Okay, I spoke too soon. So now we've got waffles with like syrup or some shit on it. Okay. And I'm guessing they're like kind of miniaturish. So, and there's probably about 3 in there. They're kind of a bit mashed up, so I don't know, but they could even be big ones. I don't know. Oh, fucking hell. And chicken as well, like a breaded chicken with some sort of sauce in it. Fucking hell. Damn. Okay.
Me, chicken and waffles. Lunch, French bread pizzas.
French bread pizzas. Okay, so a good bit of French bread. That's gonna be a lot of calories as well. And I'm guessing that's just cheese on top of it. I don't know if there's anything else on top of it. Doesn't look like there's any pepperoni or anything underneath. I could be wrong, but you know, this is probably the least worst, well, the least worst thing so far. But it depends on how big the bit of French bread is. That could be many calories and shit.
Ramen.
2 bowls. Sheesh, that's already like a good 600 fucking calories right there as well. Damn. Oh, this isn't looking good. I think this is the first one I've watched so far where I've been like, holy shit, yeah, this is insane. I mean, I watched one a couple of days ago where there was a lot of like fried food and stuff like that, but she still had like sugar-free drinks and shit like that with it. So I was like, oh, you know, there's some positives here. I haven't had a single positive thing to say here so far. Nah, this is taking the cake right here.
Dinner, more hash
browns, and it's like a good 6, 7 in there again. Fucking hell. Yeah, that's insane. I don't have a single positive thing to say so far. That is diabolical. And there is like literally, the thing is, there's barely any protein in it. The most protein I've seen is that little bit of chicken and a bit of cheese. That's probably not even 30 grams of protein a day. If even that. That's insane. Realistically, the best way to lose weight, my personal opinion, is not only to obviously eat less calories and in general and move yourself more and stuff like that. Not only that, but just eating more protein in general. Getting a higher protein diet, it keeps you full for longer, it keeps you more satiated, and it doesn't absolutely destroy your body. It doesn't mess with your blood sugar, stuff like that. You know, it's just the best way to start the day and end the day is on a really high protein meal. That's the best way to do it throughout the day, in my personal opinion.
Proud. I maybe had brown feet.
Yeah, just a bit. I don't think
Dessert.
I've had that many hash browns in my life. I'm not even exaggerating. Genuinely, I haven't had a hash brown, like a single hash brown, in probably like over a year or two now. Don't get me wrong, I love them. I would absolutely annihilate that many hash browns. I would. But for the sake of my own fucking livelihood and my own sanity, I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it.
Cookies.
Cookies? Okay, here's another thing I personally don't agree with. I don't think you need to have like a dessert or a sweet treat at the end of the night all the time. I've been guilty of this. Sometimes I am still guilty of this. If you have the calories left over, go for it. Why not? If you can fit it into your deficit or whatever, or fit into your maintenance or whatever the hell you're doing, that's fine. And it also depends what it is. Like shit like this, I don't think you should be snacking on this at the end of the night because it's highly addictive. It's just so pointless because you don't need it if you're eating big meals. That's the thing. If you're eating big satiating dinners, you're not going to feel hungry at the end of the night and you're not going to want to snack on shit like this. That's what I think personally. You can disagree with me all you want, but I think that's the best way of doing it personally. Just bulk up your meals rather than keeping calories left over for shit at the end of the night when you could just have massive, filling, high protein meals and stuff like that.
What did y'all eat today?
All I've eaten so far is just this. Like, that's all I've had with a bit of fruit and some oats. Like, fuck me. Do you know how many calories is in this whole pot? It's like 270 calories in this whole pot right here. This whole thing. And the oats, like 15 grams of oats, I had like 50 calories. And the fruit is probably like 60 calories because I had an apple. No, probably a bit more than that. Probably close to about 80 calories or so because I had an apple and I had some strawberries as well. But damn, I've only eaten like 400 calories or something today. She has literally had, what, more than double my calories, my total calories that I'm supposed to have for the day in basically one meal. Yeah, that's insane. I only eat about roughly 2,000 calories a day, just as like a FYI. That's my deficit I'm in. But yeah, that was really quite diabolical. I don't have a single positive thing to say about that at all. There was nothing good in there in any way whatsoever, and it is a bit worrying. It really is a bit worrying. I do worry for a lot of people when they eat like this, when they get to such a big size where they clearly struggle to do basic things that any human being should be able to do. You know, like I was when I was big, I struggled to walk upstairs without breathing heavily and stuff like that. No one should have to go through that. I don't think, personally, it ain't right. I'm not saying you're a bad person for saying fat. I'm not saying you shouldn't exist. I'm not saying anything like that. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I am saying is, no one should be living like this personally. I don't think being overweight is a good thing in any way whatsoever. And I know a lot of people are going to be mad at that. A lot of people are going to be potentially writing in the comments being like, oh, fuck you. Oh, you're just like basically an ex-smoker but for fat people. And I'm going to say, yeah, you're fat phobic, whatever. I don't care. Call me whatever you want. Call me fat phobic. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. At the end of the day, I don't care. I just don't think it's a good way to live. I could say the same thing about people on the opposite end of the spectrum when it comes to the kind of ED kind of stuff. You know, when people are really underweight, no one has a problem with that. No one gets mad at it. But when it comes to a person who's a bit bigger, people just absolutely lose their lid. They're like, oh no, you can't say that, stuff like that. And I'm just like, why not? They're both just as bad as each other. Come on now, we shouldn't be celebrating either one. I'm just gonna read a few of these comments right here because like some of these sum up a lot of my own thoughts. So there's one here, almost 5,000 calories in one day, by the way. Yeah, if not more. Who eats 13 plus hash browns in one day? That's what I'm saying. Oh, that's diabolical. How do you achieve that build? That's diabolical. Nah, you can't be saying that. Not a single vegetable in sight. Yeah, that's the problem as well, is that there's no vegetables or fruit or anything like that. Vegetables are absolutely amazing when it comes to bulking up your meal. You know, obviously depending on what it is, because some vegetables, like obviously potatoes, are quite high in calorie and carbohydrates and stuff like that. But if you have, you know, like lettuces, tomatoes, cucumbers, I hate cucumbers personally, just saying. But if you have stuff like that, plunk that shit into a bowl. That whole bowl is probably only like 30 calories for like the whole thing. You can get quite a lot in there. You know, plunk some chicken on that bitch. You know, shred that bitch up, and you've basically got a whole low calorie salad that's high protein and it's absolutely filling. What could go wrong, you know? But yeah, anyways, I wanted to show you guys, because I kind of touched on it a bit earlier, I wanted to show you how you can kind of calculate how many calories you should be eating a day based off of things like your activity level, your weight and age and things like that. So I'm going to quickly show you what I personally use to kind of determine what I've done to lose weight and stuff like that. So what you want to do is go to Google, type in TDE calculator, go on this website here, and it has all these things you can fill out. So age, I'm 25. Weight, I'm currently like 89 kilograms. I'm about 191 centimeters. Activity, personally, I think even if you're a very active person, you should put in probably light exercise, because one thing you don't want to do is, even if you do work out a lot and hard, you don't want to say, oh, I work out 6-7 days a week. You put in the stuff here and it says, oh, I can eat 3,300 calories per day, but then you start absolutely stuffing yourself and then you put on weight. Personally, you know, I would go for light exercise even if you're having exercising, and this right here is your maintenance calories. This is how many you should be eating a week, and down here it has how much protein you should be eating, stuff like that. This is just for maintenance so far, but they have tabs here for cutting weight. So your calories should be around 2,200 a day, 500 calorie deficit, which is always kind of the norm. And if you're eating moderate amount of carbs, this is how much protein you are. Lower carbs, how much protein you should have. The higher carb, and etc, etc. I think there's like a split. I think they say like 30, 35, 35. Okay, that's what I meant. Yeah, that's what they say you should have. And this is the bulking. Obviously, if you want to bulk, you want to have 3,200 calories, this much protein, etc. This is the website I personally use to determine what I should be working with, stuff like that. It has ideal weights and stuff like that, but I wouldn't, again, like it says here, you shouldn't take it too seriously, especially if you are like a weightlifter or an active person, stuff like that. Don't be kind of stuck on the scale weight and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, that's what I use personally to kind of figure out what calories I should be having and stuff like that, how much protein I should be having in a day, etc. I'm gonna try and get one more in and see if there's any improvements at all. See if there's any ones that aren't just not trying to lose weight. See if there's any positive ones today, because so far it hasn't been great. Okay, got another one here. So far, I already see like a donut or something. I'm not sure how this one's going to end up. But let's see. I'm still hopeful. Even if there's some like donuts or something in there, I'm still hopeful there's at least something satiating or filling inside this one. Let's go.
Everything I eat today as a fat girl.
Okay. Plus milk. Okay. You know, if it's lower calorie milk, that's not awful. Um, okay, it's not great still. That's a lie. I fucking lied. It's still not great at all. You know, starting off your day with a donut and a glass of milk, not very satiating. Like I said, sugar rush straight to your brain. You're not going to have much energy throughout that day, and you're going to constantly crave sugar.
Good morning. For breakfast, I have a
So, what is that?
croissant. It has cream cheese and sausage. And then I have 8-bite muffins.
So, I'm guessing that's just straight up egg, right? Maybe like some sort of scrambled egg concoction. I don't know what an egg bite is. I don't know if that's like an American thing. I could be wrong. But I mean, that's probably not that bad, right? That's probably just eggs. It looks like there might be some sort of like veg or chili or something on top of it. I don't know what that is, but that's not that bad. As you know, eggs are great, good protein. Now this cream cheese and sausage. Okay, cream cheese is not that bad, especially if you've got the reduced fat. Cream cheese is probably quite good, but you know, sausage is really high calorie. But you can get reduced calorie sausages, so that might not be awful if it's the reduced calorie options. But the bread on top is going to be a bit more. But this one is probably a little bit better than the donut and the drink. But this is still not perfect, and again, you could have a much more satiating meal if you just stuck to something basic like eggs with some toast, or just, you know, again, the yogurt with some fruit or something like that, personally.
And then I have 8-bite muffins.
Okay.
If you don't have an 8-bite maker, you could just use a muffin pan. I was just lazy this morning.
Fair enough. I didn't know what an egg bite maker is, but
For lunch, we got Dairy Queen.
That is a flat burger. Damn. Okay. Yeah, burgers. Ridiculously high calorie. Now we don't have Dairy Queens. I don't know what they're like. I don't know if they taste any good or what. It looks alright, to be fair, but burger is insane amount of calories. Insane. Personally, one thing I've seen some people do, I've never tried it before. I don't know. It sounds a bit. I don't know if it sounds like a piece of me or not, but what some people do is they get like an onion, they cut it in half, and they cook the tops of the onion, like the two halves, like a big onion, and they get like this patty and they put it in between the onion with some sauce or something like that, and they have like an onion burger or something. I don't know about that, but some people do it. I've never had it, but I guess it's a healthier option if you're craving a burger or something. But yeah, that's insane.
These onions, do you see that?
Damn, that was a big bite. Shit. I mean, it looks pretty decent. Damn, I actually got fries with it as well. And mayonnaise on the fries. Shit. I mean, obviously, if you're going to go to a burger place, you're going to get burger and fries. Don't get me wrong. But, yeah, that's a mega meltdown of calories. Holy shit. Damn. Yeah.
Onion ring with ranch.
What's in the drink? Come on. I get it's probably not going to tell you what's in the drink, but what's in it? It looks clear, so I'm guessing like some sort of like 7-Up or Sprite or something. Hopefully sugar-free. Probably not. Onion rings as well.
Onion ring with ranch.
With ranch? Oh, that's what it was. Ranch, not mayo. Okay, this is racking up.
I got the red velvet cake batter blizzard.
Ah, so like a red velvet ice cream. Oh, Jesus Christ! Nah, today hasn't been a good one. In the previous ones, I've been able to find some people who are at least making some healthy alternatives. This one, you know, at least she's got something good in that breakfast thing. She had like eggs on the side, which is still pretty decent. You know, some of them have had like eggs on the side or some shit. To be honest, I think 2 of them have, but Honestly, some of the ones I made before have been like kind of a bit positive. They've had some good food choices and stuff like that, quite filling food choices. But this one, nah, this is crazy. Nah, it does look good, but come on, no.
This is actually really, really, really good.
I would absolutely smash that. I would absolutely destroy that. That looks good. That is a good ice cream. Just saying.
We are feeling the munchies, so I made birria ramen.
I had a big old pot of ramen as well. That pot looks huge. Wait, let's have a look at that again.
Feeling the munchies.
Jesus Christ. No wonder, that's the thing, like I was saying earlier, if you just have like straight up sugary or like really highly palatable ultra processed foods like throughout the day, you're going to feel hungry later. So that's why she's like, I'll have the munchies, because you've eaten shit all day, you know. Like I said, I'm not trying to be like a complete and utter arsehole, and I'm not saying these people are disgusting people or whatever, but like I said, I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. If I think there's some things that I disagree with or that are just blatantly wrong, I'm gonna say it. And yeah, this is just not a good way to lead your life, especially if you eat like this every day. Trust me, I've been there. It's not good.
So I made birria
Damn.
ramen.
Okay. I don't even know if that looks good or not, to be honest. It just looks a bit kind of like slop. It's like,
Everything I eat today.
damn. Damn, okay. That was not fantastic. Not gonna lie. That was not great. I'm gonna have a look at some of these comments though, because some of these are just like I don't agree with whatsoever. So if you look over here, some of these people are saying, "Oh, that's a normal amount though," but it's just not. That is in no way normal. Like this comment below here says, too many fats, too many carbohydrates, not enough protein, too many calories as well, so much sugar throughout the whole day. It's just not great at all. You know, why, I'm guessing he's trying to say, why would you do this to yourself? I mean, some people just like food. You know, I'm a person who really likes food, so I get it. I really do get it. I get why people really just like absolutely scrambling down these highly palatable foods because they taste good, and you're like, damn, that shit, you know, that's busting. But in the long run, it's not ideal. It really isn't. So I used to eat like this. I stopped when I started having trouble getting full deep breath. Yeah, I was fighting for a full breath all day, every day. I eat and breathe much better. That's exactly problems that I had as well, because I also grew up asthmatic as well. That's probably a little bit to do with the fact that I was a bit of a fat kid as well. But I think before I became a fat kid, I had asthma anyways. But yeah, it definitely made it worse growing up, being overweight. So 100%, I massively, I agree with that one. And there's more ones here saying, oh, this isn't even that bad, to be honest. I don't know where these people are getting this idea from, that this is normal. This is not normal. I know in the United States and the United Kingdom as well, it's become a lot more normalized to eat like just insane portions of food and stuff like that. It's just become very normalized. Like I said in one of my previous videos, sometimes I'd have a reasonable portion and some like family members or something would be like, oh, that's not a lot. And I'd be like, that's a good amount. I'm going to be alright after this. I'm going to be satiated. That is not good in any capacity, if I'm being honest. There's nothing filling there at all. I could eat all of that in one sitting and still be hungry after. I can eat the donut, that croissant thing, the egg thing, the whole burger, the fries, and the ice cream, and I'll still be hungry because it's just not satiating. All I've had all day since about 9 o'clock is that yogurt. As of recording, it's like 10 to 2, almost 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. and I'm not all that hungry. I'm gonna have lunch in a bit once I wrap up recording, but I'm not all that hungry right now because it's satiating. Massive loads of fruit, big yogurt, shit, you know, some oats and stuff like that. It's just really, it's great. You know, I'm not saying everyone needs to eat like this because, to be honest, it's not the cheapest. It's not the cheapest thing to eat on a daily basis, I will admit. I know a lot of people eat a lot of junk because of things like money. However, I would argue that you can still make healthier alternatives even if you are living off of freezer foods. You know, there are certain freezer meals which aren't that high calorie, which are quite low calorie, decent amount of protein. Or you can get some like freezer chicken breast and things like that, and you can just easily smack that in the oven or microwave with some seasoning or something. Get a little tiny bag of lettuce, which is only like, in the UK anyway, it's like 60p for a big bag of lettuce. You can easily split half of that and make it into 2 meals if you really wanted to. I eat a whole bag, not gonna lie. I eat a whole bag in one meal because it's only like 30 calories or 25 calories for the whole thing, which is great. But there are choices you can make which are better for you in the long run. It's not just about being hyper clean and blah blah blah, especially if you're an overweight person just starting out. It's going to be hard for you to focus on eating everything ultra clean because you're used to eating a lot of processed shit and stuff like that. So it's like going from 0 to 100, and it can make you fail, and it probably will make you fail because that's how I've failed in the past. You just got to make small changes, adjust accordingly. Start off by reducing the amount of like high fat meats and stuff you have and replace it with lean meats. Get rid of like all the full fat sodas and replace it with diet ones and stuff like that. You know, small choices to begin with, kickstart it and make it already so much better for you. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for today. That's everything I have to say on these videos. It hasn't been a good one today so far. The previous videos definitely had some better ones in there for sure. I don't really have much positives to say when it comes to a lot of these diets I've seen so far. Again, like I said, it's fine to be overweight. You're not less of a person for being overweight. It's just that living a healthier lifestyle is just so much better for you, and everyone should strive to live for longer for the people they care about or for themselves. I'm going to continue making these because I really enjoy making these, and a lot of people seem to be positively responding to a lot of these videos and telling me about their stories and stuff like that, which is absolutely amazing. And I think at the end of the day, this is what it's all about. It's not just about pointing at people being like, haha, you eat like shit on the internet. You know, it's also about talking to people who have made the change, who have been like this, such as myself and a lot of people in the comments who have made these positive changes, who have noticed the problem and been like, you know what, I'm going to do this. I know it's not easy. It's a hard road. A lot of people struggle with it. A lot of people start off and they fail, but that's where you've got to get back up and try again a different way. I've said in some of my short form content before, I don't agree with a lot of named diets and stuff like that. I don't agree with ketos. I don't agree with cutting out food groups and stuff like that. I just personally believe in making small changes to begin with, making less high calorie choices, you know, getting rid of things like cookies and stuff and substituting it for just generally lower calorie, better options. Personally, getting rid of full fat sodas, so on and so forth. But anyway, I think that's going to be it for today. I really appreciate if you've made it all the way through so far. So if you'd kindly leave a like, comment, subscribe and all that. Let's get to 500, if not more. If we can get to 1,000 by the end of the year, I'm going to be absolutely over the moon. That would be absolutely brilliant, and I'm going to keep making more of these, 100%. I really appreciate you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully have one of these coming out in the next few days. See you later, guys. Take care.